Hello and welcome to my personal hell once again. I forget what season it is. It is season 21. Okay. I've unfortunately broken my streak of doing 2 progression videos per season. I dropped that partly because I was getting a little bit burnt out and beat down as of reaching diamond tier. But now is the perfect opportunity to start taking my experimentations and turning those into results. So, um, I waited until now to start season 21 because as of, I believe, yesterday, Duel Pass is reset, and I can currently work towards getting Cross Sheep as a mate. And Cross Sheep's probably the most appealing of the mate options I have available to me right now. So I'm going to try to work towards that. We're going to try to unlock that. Need to earn some gems towards that. All that said, there are some pretty meaningful changes we need to make to 10k broker control, especially because I have started crunching numbers again. Now, a good while back, before I restarted from bronze and decided to record my playthrough up the ranks, I was kind of crunching the numbers on my games, determining which cards get the best results, which cards tend to be associated with games that I lose more frequently. And also recently, the game started showing win rates for different cards that I play, and some of them are actually pretty high. So that would be interesting to consider and experiment with as we go through the game. Now, I have incomplete stats right now. I'm never really going to have complete stats, to be fair, but I've crunched a shit ton of games. And the best streak that I have right now is a totality of the cards that have appeared in my opening hands across 30 games. I have won going first. And I think they have the most interesting results so far. So of those 30 games, 14 of those, or at least the functional equivalent of 14 of those, Magical Broker has been in my opening hands. Now, that really shouldn't be any huge surprise. Magical Broker is entirely central to my deck at this point. So many of my other cards exist to support Magical Broker, and so, not infrequently, I find myself going like, I'm going to lose this game if I don't draw into Broker. And when I draw into Broker, it's like, yes, got it. And it's a big game changer. That is not super surprising, but it's pleasing to also see, because that means that my deck is thriving as a result of this card, which I'm putting so much value on. It's reaffirming, I should say. After that, one of the... I'm going to go through, like, the top 6-ish most popular, most successful cards. These are cards that have appeared in my opening hand on games in which I've gone first that I've eventually won. So these are the games that these are the cards that have appeared the most frequently in games I've won when I've gone first. Now, granted, gotta bear in mind it's not a correlation. A correlation does not mean causation, but with a strong enough correlation, there's an increasingly strong case to be made that these cards are responsible for my wins in some way. So, I have Magical Broker. Of 30 games I've won, Magical Broker showed up 14 times. After that, I have Fiendish Chain. 3 copies of Fiendish Chain I've pretty much consistently run. Fiendish Chain showed up 13 times in my opening hand in games that I won. Following that, lose 1 turn. I showed up 12 times across 30 games that I've won, going first. And I don't always run 3 copies of this, too. I run like 2 to 3 copies of it. So it might be underrepresented in my stats as well. After that, believe it or not, after that, there can be only one. There can be only one only showed up 11 times across 30 games in my opening hands. And that's probably because, since it was semi-limited, I've only been running 1 to 2 copies of it. But that's still a good showing for 1 to 2 copies. Now, I gotta say, the most surprising, but... Well, okay, I'm not done yet. Tied with lose 1 turn is a card I actually don't have on here right now. It's Fire Prison. Fire Prison also showed up 12 times across 30 games in the opening hands that I've won. That's interesting. Fire Prison is just kind of annoying because it doesn't stop Link monsters, and it's a hard stop to my own combat as well, which means it is very anti-synergistic with aggressive Clockwork Knight plays. And by the way, none of these games... Okay, that's not true yet. A very small number of these games have featured any number of Clockwork Knight. So Clockwork Knight has not had a sufficient number of games to actually get any sort of consistent showing and results yet. So that remains to be seen. I don't know what Clockwork Knight is really looking like right now, but I'm working it out. The most powerful card for me to draw going first previously was There Can Be Only One. It's been semi-limited since then. But this outclasses even Magical Broker in terms of the odds of me winning or losing going first. In half of 30 games that I won going first, I had Decisive Battle of Golconda in my hand. I knew this card was fucking amazing, and these stats clearly show that it has pulled a lot of fucking weight for me. This card not only stops board wipes, but it stops individual or destruction effects repeatedly and without loss of card advantage. It is a hugely powerful card. The main disadvantage to running Decisive Battle of Golconda, in my opinion, is that it prohibits me from running Dimensional Fissure. Now, Dimensional Fissure is not always a playable card. It's not always a valuable card, but it's a really good floodgate, and it fucks over a lot of deck strategies, in particular, shit like Tier Limits. But not being able to run Dimensional Fissure and instead having Decisive Battle, which is far more consistently valuable against the vast majority of decks I go up against, because almost every deck runs some amount of destruction removal. Almost every single deck, if not every single deck. They're running Nightmare Phoenix, Decisive Battle. If they're running Baronne de Fleur, Decisive Battle. If they're running any number one of... If they're running the fucking Labyrinth Field Spell. If they're running Pendulum... Time Pendulum Graph. If they're running Sword Soul Blackout. If they Harpy's Feather Dust me. If they Lightning Storm me. If they even try to Regeki me, even though that usually doesn't work anyway. I can Decisive Battle it. Very good. Very good. And it's, of course, much more powerful when I'm able to get some sort of value off of pitching those cards, too. Like getting a Fallen of Albaz to special summon itself during the end phase. That's really fucking good. I don't want to keep doing that. I'd really like Fusion Armament to get added to the game so I can fetch that with Alba Lenitus. That would be really cool, because Alba Lenitus can... If Alba Lenitus fetches Fusion Armament can reveal Dragon Master Knight. Dragon Master Knight special summons Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon on the field, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon plus Magical Broker equals 10,000 Dragon. It would be the easiest and most reliable way to get 10,000 dragons, 10,000 dragons summoning requirements on board. And that's not the only thing I could even summon with Fusion Armaments. I could use Fusion Armaments to get other shit on the field, such as another level 3, so that I could get either of these things going. Or it could get a dark or light monster, hypothetically. I mean, obviously Blue Eyes Ultimate already satisfies the requirement for at least a couple of these Link monsters, but if I needed to get a Link monster out to do some heavy lifting, I could do that. That's huge. That's really big. Fusion Armament is a big card I'm looking forward to. I'm confident it's a long ways off at this point, but I really want that card. There's a handful of other cards that I also really like. It's going to be a big question whether or not Time-Tearing Morganite is going to be a shoe-in for this deck. I should be able to run 3 copies right out of the gate, but it's going to have less immediate effects than something like Pot of Duality, which is very helpful oftentimes. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm interested in seeing how that goes. But with all that in mind, I think it's important to reevaluate some of the cards that we have in this deck. And even though, and as it is, it may seem a little different. If you're noticing that there are some cards in this deck I don't normally run, it's mainly in there so I can crunch the numbers later and see how they actually perform. I still am going to keep running Clockwork Knight. I'm very confident this card is going to be very good, but again, I have not I have not tallied enough games involving it to really judge its merits. Now I'm going to go down the stat lists right now, and we're going to consider some of the cards that are included and whether or not they should remain included. Something to bear in mind, if you haven't noticed already, I have adjusted my audio settings, so the game audio, I should be a little bit louder by default, but also the game audio should duck and get a little quieter when I'm talking, and then get a little bit louder when I'm not talking, like that. So, anyway, just got home from work. Let's do a little bit of theory crafting with these stats that I've got. Okay, so looking through the list here, there are some cards I just have not played enough games with in which they've even showed up in opening hands to really make a judgment of whether or not they're that effective. Dimension Shifter is a card that I have brought back with the hope that I can continue to get value out of it. 2 copies of Dimension Shifter, by my shitty math, amounts to me drawing into them in my opening hands roughly a quarter of the time. But that's a quarter of the time that I can possibly force my opponent to pass the turn to me. And that could be really big. I kind of wish Dimension Shifter was not semi-limited. They were only semi-limited because of Fluanderies, and Fluanderies is quite frankly broken for an entirely unrelated reasons to the fact that they can banish some of your cards and benefit from banishing their own cards. Plenty of other decks already do that, so that's clearly not a tenable, logical move to fucking assault this card, especially since you crafted this card and released it with the explicit purpose of balancing the game. Fucking dumb fucks. Anyway, that's a huge issue I have. Going second, I lose far, far, far more games going second. And it is much to my playstyle and interests that I go first with the current cards that I have. I think I am disadvantaging myself by not by including as many going second cards as I do, because it means the odds of my going first games are on aggregate weaker and less reliable, because I draw more bricks when I go first, and that's not great. So all these things you know, it remains to be seen how effective they are. Something I can afford right now, and I'm going to do, is another thing I'm going to throw out, is I'm going to get, oh my god, what's it called? Nibiru. We are going to try actually running Nibiru seriously for once. I've never actually done that, but we're going to try it. I've already unlocked one. Let's make another one. We'll have two of them. We'll have two dimension shifters and a Nibiru. My main issue with Nibiru, I have two main issues with Nibiru. And neither of them have to do with the fact that I'm giving my opponent a potentially very powerful token. My issue with Nibiru is that it can be negated. You can't negate Sphere Mode. Sphere Mode is off flavor, in my opinion. Nibiru's such a generic card, but, you know, Sphere Mode is obviously specifically, you know, Egyptian God card. And I kind of don't want to splash Egyptian God cards into this deck if I can help it, especially if it's something niche like Sphere Mode. In my opinion, if I am going to settle for cheesing the upper ranks, if there's any card I add to this deck, it's going to be Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode. But that's something I'm very resistant to do. I really don't want to do it because I know it's fucking powerful. So shy of that, I'm going to try running Nibiru. The disadvantage to Nibiru besides that is that I really don't have any other purpose to it. It being a level 10, a level 11 rock monster with like nil for defense is not really useful. That is not really good value for me. I struggle to see that actually being very helpful. So I'm not sure that this is actually going to pan out for me in the long run, to be perfectly honest. Now, again, there's no stats on these cards, at least in terms of my decks. So I don't know how these will perform in my deck. Remains to be seen. Hopefully I can wipe some fields with this. That'd be awful nice if true. And the whole goal of Dimension Shifter is just to get them to pass their turn to me as frequently as possible. That's the whole reason for that. I'm still going to run one copy of Chronicle, because Dante is currently the best means I have of getting out 10k. I still am going to have 10k in here as an obligatory thing. I'm still going to run Fierce Tiger Mongu because it seems too good not to run, especially if I have Clockwork Knight in the deck. I may change my mind on this later on. Don't worry about it. I had Dark World Dealings. I was toying around with that. I am going to get rid of Foolish Burial Goods, and there's a big reason for that, and that is because of the cards that I have statted so far, a card that I've been using quite frequently, but has not performed well in the games in which I've run it, is actually Titanicider. Titanicider, so far, has the best stats in having me losing going first, which is very unfortunate. So I'm going to pitch Titanicider to the side for now. We are not going to be running that for the short term. Let me see what else we have that is not showing off very well. I could color code these in a better fashion, but I haven't quite done it yet. I have decided to drop pretty much everything that makes Time Thief Redoer for the sole purpose of getting I know I'm going to get Time Thief Power Reserve at some point. It's going to happen. When Time Thief Power Reserve is added to the game, it's going in my deck. I've decided on that. I've settled on that. So we're just... Time Thief Redoer is going to sit in the background for now. I'd love to play him. He's just doesn't have his optimal setup yet, but it's coming. So I'm waiting on that. Just going to scroll through more of this. Double checking some other stuff. I was running Polymerization. That wasn't showing very well. Prohibition, honestly, is not doing fantastic. Which isn't terribly surprising. Another thing that probably isn't terribly surprising is Witch's Strike. For some reason, I guess it's not too surprising, but ever since we got into the Tearlaments Ashtira meta, and we got rid of a handful of the generic pile deck extenders like Crystron, Halki, Fibrax. During the Crystron, Halki, Fibrax era, Witch's Strike was far more valuable, in my opinion. Far more valuable. We got out all those negates, Omni negates, far more frequently. And Witch's Strike was live way more often. Nowadays, it's all about just incessantly removing all the shit you have that's on your field, which is fucking frustrating as all hell. But it also means that Witch's Strike is just a dead card 90% of the time. So I also have a really bad showing from Witch's Strike. Now, I'd like to say Witch's Strike is still one of my favorite cards. So if there were a side deck in this game, it would get an honorable slot in my side deck to be returned next time I come up against somebody who's all like, oh, I'm going to dump a whole bunch of fucking Omni negates on the field because fuck you. So, just keep that in mind. Witch's Strike is comfortably in the back of my mind, where it belongs. Wall of Revealing Light, I've been using quite a bit, has not been showing off so well. I'm going to remove at least one of those, and in fact, because we've had such good results with Fire Prison, I'm going to bring Fire Prison back. I think I sold my copy of Metaverse, though, so we don't have Metaverse to fetch it. So we're going to run 3 copies of Fire Prism. I'll pitch one of these, Walls of Revealing Light. The main issue here, obviously, is, once again, I am... Actually, we're going to get rid of both, all copies of Wall of Revealing Light. Let's get 2, there can be only 1. We're going with the stats. We're going with what the stats have dictated. Stats say the Titanicider is losing us games, so we're not taking it. Also says Witch's Strike is losing us games, so we're not taking it. Fire Prison, one of our best cards, we're taking it. There can be only 1, one of our best cards, max 2 copies. Fiendish Chain, 3 copies. Decisive Battle, 3 copies. Magical Broker, 3 copies. These are some of our best cards in this deck. Lose 1 turn is also really good. And this is honestly probably one of the heaviest monster decks I've had in a long time. Though pretty much the only other time I've run Nibiru, it has it's not been used at all because I just haven't drawn into it. If I'm running like 3 copies of Nibiru though, I have much better odds of drawing into it. Where am I about Final Countdown? Final Countdown does not have an amazing showing, I'll admit. However, it is it's a repeated source of wins. Is a repeated source of wins. So if that makes any sense, it hasn't appeared frequently in my opening hands, which makes sense because you're limited to 1 copy. Or kind of fucking weird. You're not limited to 1 copy. Normally you're limited to 1 copy, and I'm trying to adhere to that. But it mainly wins me games after I've drawn into it. Another card that I've previously statted that had not performed well, bizarrely, is One Day of Peace. I'm honestly surprised this card has not had as good of a showing as it has. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try running it again on the hopes that it reflects. It does itself more justice than it has in the past. Harpy's Feather Duster surprisingly isn't getting as much use as it could, even at 1 copy. And again, part of this is just the fact that, you know, I'm drawing into it a lot of the time. And currently I'm just scrolling through cards that I see on my list here. I still want to run 2 copies of Ghost Ogre right now. I feel like that's very important just for removing particular problem cards. Nibiru could potentially help me get 10k out. But it's not singularly that effective at it. Going up again, the fact that Labyrinth is one of the big decks right now, I'm pretty resistant to get rid of Harpy's Feather Duster. And again, the stats that I've collected up to now are not exhaustive. The main stuff I'm looking at right now is removing Final Countdown, Harpy's Feather Duster, and Prohibition. One-off cards that are just not doing as much as they could. Lose 1 turn is quite effective at what it does. I'm going to... Final Countdown is often quite risky, and it's a dead card late in the game, oftentimes. But it has won me many games. I'm going to remove Prohibition and add in another copy of Lose 1 Turn. How has Vivid Tail been doing for me? Vivid Tail's been kind of mixed. Actually, I take that back. It's not been kind of mixed. It's been more than 50% more wins than losses. But it's not that much better off than some of my other one-off cards. Soul Levy actually is pretty good. Soul Levy actually has a better showing than even Final Countdown. Maybe I just go for some extra copies of Soul Levy. Instead of Final Countdown. Of course, some of these monsters are probably going to be removed after they brick in my hand a million times. I'm gonna hold on to this Harpy's Feather Duster. Alright, let's save up. I think everything else is looking alright. I've got 5 Albaz cards in the extra deck for Decisive. I really don't have anything to do with these Dimension Shifters other than the fact that I contribute some of them. It's not great. Yeah. So, Dimension Shifters are dead cards. Nibiru are potentially dead cards. That's stuff I worry about, but we're gonna go with this. Alright. Let's start going. Try to get that cross sheep and try to make some progress. Platinum 4. If I can rank up once, I'll be satisfied. And of course, if you don't see me rank up, those are just going to be games that I just add to a spreadsheet in the background, and you're probably not going to see. Okay. This is probably the most hand traps I've ever seen in my hands, ever. Of course. Absolutely, of course. Zero surprises there. Now, something I don't like about Nibiru is that I think there's an optimal play with Nibiru where you want to be mindful of how many times your opponent has summoned. Okay, Cash Tira. Alright, they already know I have something in my hands. Doesn't necessarily mean I have Nibiru in my hand, though. Cash Tira Tearlaments. Alright. The fact that Omni Negates aren't that big of a thing now probably makes Nibiru more valuable than ever, though. During the main phase, if your opponent normal or special summons 5 or more monsters this turn. The problem is I should probably have this set to on. They've already used their Called by the Grave to get rid of my Dimension Shifter. Means I can potentially Nibiru everything they have without punishment. I think we've seen 3 summons so far. They should know I don't necessarily have an Ash Blossom in hand. Hit Kalos. One more summon and I should be able to Nibiru. This will be the first time I actually Nibiru anything, to be honest. I've never Nibiru'd anybody. Rivalry of Warlords probably isn't a great card to have in my opening hand at this point. Although they are playing with multiple types of cards. So it could certainly affect them. Conditions of this. Okay, can I Nibiru now? I can. Pass it on. Normal or special summon 5 or more monsters this turn. Contribute as many face-up monsters on the field as possible. And if you do special summon this card from your hands, then special summon a Primal Being token on its field. They don't have any tuners, so I shouldn't expect a Baronne de Fleur to come out. They're the most reliable source of effect negation. Yeah, I've got my shit set to on. Be ready for it. Interesting. You can only activate your effect during my turn, though. What could you go into? Nothing I can't tribute. End phase! What the fuck, dude? How'd I miss that shit? God damn it. Basic card your opponent controls, banish it. God damn it. How did I miss the prompts that they were ending their turn? That's frustrating. This'll basically make Rivalry of Warlords not so effective. And a nuke you. This is gonna get Fenrir to banish my shit, unfortunately. Want a link too? Alright. This might lock him out from summoning more shit, though. Alright, so I fucked up Nibiru. I don't know how I managed that shit. But now I think Nibiru is a dead card in my hands. Alright, you can't summon anything else unless it's a machine. I think that prevents you from summoning anything in your deck. Correct me if I'm wrong. Goes straight to battle phase. Oh right, you can do that. That's cool. Definitely not a card that should be banned. Alright, I might be able to Nibiru them. Alright, that's one summon. This is all during their main phase 2. That is a tuner, though. Oh, they could go into fucking Barone, dude. Gonna kill me. Don't go into Barone, you fucking bitch. You bitch. This card should also be banned. Should have been banned ages ago. Maybe I can Barone them. Nope. Alright. There's like no chance of me surviving this now. God damn it. That's frustrating as fuck. Fuck! Goddamn Cash Tier of Fenrir had to banish my goddamn Fierce Tiger Mongo. And then I missed the Nibiru before that. Fuck. I could have Nibiru'd them. I'm tempted maybe to just Nibiru them at the earliest opportunity. I'm not sure if that's wise or not. Obviously, they can eventually go into Barone if they want to. I was just clicking through dialogue prompts, and there had to be one that said, oh, hey, by the way, they're about to end the main phase. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, not a terrible opening hand going first, I'll be honest. Hachimanako, you there? Do not have a full extra deck, which is interesting. 1 day of peace. Ghost Ogre is nice. Let's fire prison. Now, unlike There Can Be Only One, I believe the way Rivalry of Warlords works does functionally lock out our opponent from summoning anything that's not a machine monster. Alright, they had a dead card in their hand, nice. Alright, hopefully we can fuck over their play with these cards. I'm also going to wait until I summon something before I rivalry them. But I will grave frame 1. Beware the leveled monsters. Now that I think about it, Rivalry of Warlords probably prohibits Link monsters a fair bit. Most Link monsters are Cybers. Most decks are not Cybers. A lot of the cards that you could go into from Links are not going to be Cybers. Or are not... Oh, okay. Sure, fine. That's fine. You're locked into Warriors, too. Fuck you. Is this Heroes? Heroes. Alright. Cool. Don't need to worry about you at the moment. You have a face down. 2 face down. Can't attack. Clearly they did not know what this card did. Now they do. Else I don't know what this card does, apparently. Dimension Shifter is unusable. Just have to pass. Ironically, if they don't want to bring it back, so they're not locked into Warrior anymore, they're going to have to not let its effect resolve. So be it. Clockwork Knight. Interesting. That is not going to synergize well with Rivalry of Warlords, but it will prevent them from summoning anything that's not Machine, I believe. If they do manage to swing through. See how this goes. You know what this combination of cards means? You are only permitted to summon machines from now on. Okay. Tribute set. That's rough. Alright, well. That's why we need decisive battle. Alright, 2 losses in a row, not going great. I'd really like not to D-rank. One first. God, 2 Nibiru's. Alright. Really, we got all sorts of special summon punishments in our hand right now. Let's see how we can do it. What kind of deck would you run? Be running Dimension Shifter as well. I feel like I only ever see it in banished decks. Like Fluanderies or anything else that loves to banish its own cards. Lose 1 turn. Soul Levy. Now, lose 1 turn will slow down their special summons, but it will not necessarily prevent them from getting to 5. You realize if you special summon anything, you're going to start banishing your own cards, right? That's something you're willing to do. Okay, they have more cards that banish themselves. I really don't want to get Grenmaju'd. Oh ho, Kashtira. Okay, that's fine. Can work with Kashtira. Top 3 cards of your opponent's deck face down, alright. What did we lose? Alright, we lost our 10k. Broker. The only one is kind of whatever. They are psychic types. Can you play through a dimension? Okay, there's Dimensional Fissure. I feel like if they had a board wipe, they would have played Fissure first and then that. Gathering a special summon, banish some of their own shit. That's 2. Oh. Lose 1 turn may undermine Nibiru a little bit. Three. Lots of stuff getting banished right away. Psy Beast. to get more level 7s out. Okay, can suicide on me. Take it. Bye-bye. This Fenrir is still a problem, though. It would be great if I could draw into a Clockwork Knight right now. I could swing over it. Oh, thank God. Alright. Hell yeah. This guy's gonna banish more cards from the top of my deck, but I can live with that. I'm banishing more on his deck. We'll put this here, because Dimensional Fissure's on the way, so they can't infinite impermanence it. Beautiful. You can fuck off. They're down to 25 cards. I'm still at 31. Our extra deck is at 9. Main phase, if this card was normal or special summon. Oh, we can't activate that effect. Interesting. Okay. Has to be the same turn it summons. And lose one turn is going to prevent the other one from summoning. Hi there. He was normal summoned, unfortunately. That's 2. Into the main phase. Alright. I'll take 200. $200 is not a great loss to me. It may be beneficial to keep charging myself 200 just to force them to resummon this shit over and over again. I'd rather they try to resummon them. Oh, never mind. XYZ, here he comes. That's what I was expecting. I can't swing over that right now. There goes an evenly matched. They have 2 evenly matched. They have a 3rd. Okay. Interesting. Banished face. Ooh. Very nice. That could make things very difficult for them. It'll probably be a level 7, I assume. I'd like to get rid of you as soon as I can. Like banishing your cards so much. I don't know why I don't think Dimensional Fissure is honestly that great in their deck. Like, granted, they can fetch some of their stuff out of Banish, but like their whole game strategy with this card needs to banish things face down. Alright, whichever one of these you keep is not an issue to me, honestly. Because I don't think you have much of a means to banish my shit face down. So which one of those psychic machines, sorry, which one of those machines you want to keep around and be your only monster? Nice. That means they're probably going to want to suicide this guy, though. Which may allow them to get out their third Fenrir. And if Fenrir goes live, it will be a problem. I only see one Fenrir in the grave, though. Oh wait, there's two in the grave. Bye-bye. Hell yeah, fuck you. And suck my cock, Kashtira. There we go, now we got some fucking progress, here we go. Still haven't Nibiru'd anything yet. Going second this time. Since I'm running Floodgates, like, I guess Nibiru is probably not that great in a deck that runs Floodgates, I'll be honest. Alright, during your standby phase, I will Dimension Shifter you. Fuck you. Nice. Ritual deck. Makanko. I've not fought against Makanko yet. I don't know how much they actually summon, though. I think they like fetching, like, equip spells from the grave, though, right? One. Makanko Trap. Target one face-up monster on the field, equip it with equip spell. I'll have to read that momentarily. That's it? That's your turn? One card? Okay. Alright, let's read this shit. This card is not equipped with an equipped card. You take no damage from battles involving this card. If this card is equipped with an equipped card, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. So it can't be destroyed by battle, and it reflects battle damage, and that's why it's at 0. While you control an equipped card, your opponent cannot target Makanko cards you control with card effects. If either player equips an equipped card to this card, you can add one Makanko Trap from your deck to your hand. Okay? The equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects, so can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects, reflects all the battle damage it takes, and it's at 0. Pretty strong. During your main phase, you can special summon one Makonko monster from your hand or deck with a different original name than the equipped monster. And if you do equip it with this card, then return the monster that was previously equipped with this card to the hands. You can only use the effect of Makonko Water Arabesque once per turn. Calm down. You can special summon one Makonko monster from your hand or deck with a different original name than you equip. So you equip this to any monster, fetch a Makonko card, then put this card on that Makonko monster, and then you just swing into any Bonds monster. Gotcha. What's this shit? Target a face a monster in the field equipped with the equip spell from your deck that can equip to it. If an equip spell is sent to your graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one equip spell in your graveyard. Target one equip spell in your... Okay, so it's just shuffling equip spells around. I knew they did some sort of reflect damage thing, but that's about all I know. Okay. I think Fire Prison is probably a good pick here. Decisive Battle isn't going to do anything this turn thanks to Dimension Shifter, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. The day I use Dimension Shifter and prevent my own Decisive Battle from stopping a board wipe is the day I stop running Dimension Shifter, but that day hasn't passed yet, so... Hey! It's still an open question. How many Makonko can you summon? Still have an incomplete extra deck. Ritual card, okay. Oh, Libromancer. I have not seen Libromancers ever. Add a Libromancer spell. I believe that's a field spell. Go. That is that. I don't know which one that is. Oh, lovely. Gonna pop a card, maybe. Nope, just gonna fetch ritual stuff. Got it. They are summoning quite a bit. I'm gonna switch to on. Doom Broker. Okay, I think this is 4 summons. You actual cunt. Okay, you can't negate this effect activation, because it's not an effect activation for reasons beyond my ability to describe. Fuck you. You can negate my Nibiru, though, which is annoying as shit. I'll probably have to force you to trigger it. Play some card, okay. I'll wait until they try to end their turn. We'll summon another ritual monster. Ben 10. Doombroker. Think you have some sort of removal? can attack directly. Target Libromancer, trap. Deck. Target face it unless your opponent controls, shuffle it. When it inflicts battle damage, okay. Another player can special summon monsters, okay. Romancer Intervention. I don't even know what this card does. Get the activated effect. Something. And the main phase. Nibiru. Negate. Cool. My first Nibiru is negated. Very nice. Can't attack me. Trying to figure out why you can't attack. Masquerina, okay. If you do negate the activated effect, special monster, most. Okay, cool. So this is just an Omni negate, as long as you have your fucking Doombroker out. What do you do? Oh no, I can't special summon. Broker's not great. Not a whole lot I can do with Broker right now. We'll play another Decisive. Feel free to negate. Probably gonna take some attack damage here. IP Masquerina Panic Summon. Oh, alright, and a turn. And this card inflicts battle damage. At the end of their turn, I will activate Magical Broker. Pitch this card. Want to Omni negate me? Go right ahead. Equip an equip spell. Me? I don't know what equips they can add. Snatch Steal would be busted as hell. Spell Speed 2 Snatch Steal from anywhere. Oh, also, its effects are negated. Oh, I see. Okay. I heard this reference. Once per turn, inflict 500 damage to the controller of the equipped monster. Lovely. Gains 1,000 attack. Effects are negated. Alright, well I was still able to pitch that. I switched to defense. They're gonna burn me for right now, which I'm not a fan of. Instantly makes me dislike this deck a little bit. Yep. I think I still have Feather Duster somewhere. You wanna pop this, do ya? I'll pop you. Do you want to spend your trap on this? I'm sure that's the question right now, right? Do I use my trap on this? Apparently. Alright. Or apparently not, I should say. Link it away. An attack with IP Masquerena. Got another Fiendish Chain. All-Weather Sunburn. Don't have much of a choice in the matter. Oh, my effect would be negated. Fuck me, dude. I didn't think about that. That was a waste of decisive. I shouldn't have done that. I didn't think that through. My effects are negated, dumb fuck. Stay in attack position. Okay. Mistakes were made. I'm surprised they went into IP Masquerena and haven't done anything with it yet. Soul Levy. That could be an infinite impermanence. That'll be good. That'll be helpful. It'll really suck if this ends up being the thing that fucks me, though. All of these are different types. Punishment to the pile deck. Most value I'm ever gonna get out of Rivalry of Warlords right here. What'll it be? There could be only one would do nothing to you right now. In terms of keeping your board around. But this fucks you. Keeping the Doom Broker. Interesting. An odd choice. I don't think the Makonko are fiends. If this is a Makonko deck, you're not going to be able to take advantage of it, I don't think. Take some damage. Gonna have to pitch this Fiendish Chain. Set one Libromancer trap directly from your deck. Can't attack. You're not a Link monster. I'm gonna pitch this Fiendish Chain for costs. Why did they want to keep Doom Broker? Just because they can keep refetching traps from their deck? It's kind of weird. Drawing into another monster would be very helpful right now. Even a Dimension Shifter would be great. Win rate, 53%. Your opponent activates card effects. Okay. Bye-bye. Alright. Now they special summon a Libromancer, right? Oh, they don't? Now they're free to summon whatever they please. Lovely. burn through 2 of these traps, right? No. They just keep adding this back from their graveyard? As long as they're, like, ritual summoning monster tributes? Enter the owner's hand during the in phase. Okay. Hi there. Toss that shit to the grave. Fuck you. Whatever you intended to do, you can also fuck off. Hey, look at that. Lose one turn, still getting value. I gotta be sure what this thing does. Reveal this card in your hand, add a Mikanko card from your deck to your hand. Except Ohime, the manifested Mikanko, and discard one card. Target one equip spell in your graveyard, equip it to an appropriate monster on the field. I don't much like that. Alright, I can only control one Soul Levy anyway. I'd like to get Battlefield Tragedy. Obviously, Soul Levy, you know, reliably punishes... Soul Levy reliably punishes, Special summoning, sorry. Special summoning. However, Battlefield Tragedy rewards me for not attacking. And it fetches additional copies of itself the longer I don't attack. Which means I can fill my back row fast with it. Gives me shit to throw away for draw potential. It's quite interesting. Am I gonna lose to this old-ass fucking card? Hi there. Hare, the Sword Mikanko. Destroy a battle. You can add one Mikanko equip spell from your deck to your hands. Okay. Why is this the card that must be out right now? Negate your effects right away, because fuck you. Need to draw into monster. Rather important. Larger pool of monsters to draw into. The trick is to draw into them, though. If I could pop that back row card with a Ghost Ogre, that would be workable, too. This is a perfect Ghost Ogre situation. Nuke the fuck out of that thing. There we are. Alright. I can stop the burn for a bit. How many turns do you have? You have 13 turns. I'm gonna pass. They don't have a Libromancer out, so they can't use their Libromancer Trap negate. I don't know what their other face downs would be, though. Fuck! God damn it. What the hell was that? I pressed circle instead of triangle. Damn it. Alright. I took 500 damage there, completely unnecessarily. Not a fan of that. Now we activate it. How about now? You have no answer to it. Nice. What are you adding to your hand? Another one? Oh, back to your ground. Okay. I see where this is going. While I have the opportunity, let's draw a card. Lovely. One day of peace will help me a little bit. We'll also get them closer to decking out, which I think is my main win condition right now. One day of peace. Interesting. Okay. They have 9 turns to draw. I have 8 turns to weather burn damage. Somehow I gotta prevent it. If I can get into one of my D-shifters, my other D-shifter, I can tribute set. Oh, that saved me a turn, that's right. I'm an idiot. One day of peace. I acknowledged it and then immediately forgot about it. Alright, now we're about on par in terms of turns. Got 8 draws. I've got 8 standby phases. I think he decks... no? You're standby phase, right? Once per turn during your standby phase. They will draw first before they have their standby phase. Which means I'm currently have the advantage. They have another Axe of Fools, though. I'll be in trouble. And it's nice to see that they got Lava Golem. So Burn is definitely not a lonely strategy in their deck. Out of them to set a monster. I wonder why they did that. There we go. Here we go. Alright. That's big. That is actually big. We're gonna tribute set with D-Shifter. Pass. And now I can keep this thing around if I have to with Decisive Battle too. I just gotta survive long enough for them to deck out for the next 6 turns. Yes! That had to be their only one, too. Wow, Tribute Set D-Shifter won me that. Maybe not necessarily won me that, but ensured I won that. Interesting. Alright, first game versus Makonko, and I won. I want to actually kind of see their deck. I imagine they only have one because they can fetch it. It is a negate their effects and burn card. Yep, they only had one copy of that. They only had one Libromancer intervention. You can set the Libromancer trap directly from your deck, but the agent lets you add a Libromancer card from your graveyard to your hand. I think that's what they did. Lava Golem. Is that, oh, those are only burn cards? Lava Golem and Axe of Fools. Definitely a very unusual burn deck. Ferocious Flame Swordsman, really? I don't know how useful that is to you. You could have gone into Crusadia Avramax or Access Code Talker. That's the thing. When I see IP Masquerena and like 4 other monsters on the field, my immediate assumption is that at the earliest opportunity, you're going to summon one of these 2 fuckers. You know, maybe if it's Dragon Link, you'll go into like a Boral monster, but other than that, I'm assuming to see Avramax or Access Code Talker. And you had both of them, and you didn't play them. To be fair, Access Code Talker, you didn't have a whole lot of links in the grid, so Access Code Talker wouldn't have been able to hit a whole lot. And Masquerena alone going into Access Code Talker means it only has 1 pop per turn, which is not great. I can weather that with Decisive Battle. Crusadia Avramax would have been a problem, because it could swing straight through my Fire Prison. You also negated the effects of my Broker. If you had summoned Avramax, I'd have had no chance. I'd have been dead turns and turns ago. Get to go first this time. Rivalry of Warlords is putting in some work. I'm pleasantly surprised. Maybe there are more pile decks than I'm giving them credit. A lot of decks are just same type though, and they're just not going to be as effective. Even pile decks are affected by there can be only one, just not as much so. Okay, this is gonna suck a little bit. I don't know whether I should go Ghost Ogre right away. Let's assume they can't OTK me. Hi there. Normally I'd rivalry that first card, but I know she doesn't usually stick around. Nice. Fuck you. A worm monster, add a worm... Okay. Do again. Add one worm monster from your deck to your hand, or if you attributed a non-effect monster to activate this effect, you can special summon it, but negate its effects. Okay, not really worried about you. Rivalry of Warlords is not going to do a whole lot against a worm-only deck. Okay. Might as well lock you into this in case you intend to get wily. Hey there. Have a Synchro 11 to go into? Protoss, cool. Can you banish yourself from the field? Banish this card from your hand or graveyard. Okay. At least I'm milling you, but this is becoming a little bit problematic already. Ah, fuck me, dude. Don't get rid of Grave, don't get rid of Grave, don't get rid of Grave. Oh, okay, sure. I can live with that. I do worry about you. And hit me for 1,500 only. Not have any quick effect to... Wait a second. Do you have anything in the grave that can quick effect to banish? You can banish this card from your hand to grave. Oh, that's gonna suck. That's gonna be a big issue. They use that to get rid of the Grave, the super ancient organism. I'm fucked. Which means I'm pretty much guaranteed to be fucked. I don't know why they didn't bounce this thing right away. Oh wait, he can't activate his banish effect anyway. You fool! He can't bounce Grave because Grave is preventing him from bouncing Grave, of course. Now, if that back row is Sword Soul Blackout, though, then I'm fucked. That's risky as fuck. Alright, can you kill me this turn? Oh, that did not have the effect you thought it would, did it? Well, Wah, 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 Sweet. All right, that might be a speed run for beating Sword Soul without them forfeiting. That's pretty cool. What's this set monster? Is this a worm? I'd be quite interested to know if this was a worm. Oh, 0 attack. Cool. Okay. Nice game. Alrighty then. Big mistake bouncing that Soul Levy and not my Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. They genuinely could have fucking killed me if they had done that instead, but they didn't, so... Oops. Also, their Soul Soul. Couldn't they have linked away that, that Vishuna and then bounced my shit like a second turn in a row? I feel like I know your deck better than you know your deck. We need one more win to rank up, and that is a video. Let's go. Let's see Platinum 3, please. Second, not a good sign. Okay, here's hoping I can Nibiru some shit, like, right away. Please let me Nibiru. That's not a good sign. Only 2 face downs, but odds are good it's Labyrinth, which is not what I want right now. There can be only one would be good versus Labyrinth. One day apiece. Clockwork Knight. It is Labyrinth. Clockwork Knight is good because it's wrecks effectively 2 of their card effects. Their Trap card that lets them pop a card as long as they control a fiend, and Big Welcome Labyrinth. Big Welcome Labyrinth's effect to bounce one of my cards as long as you control a fiend monster is no longer alive as long as we have Clockwork Knight. Okay, let's see how much we can get away with here. Probably not a whole lot. Gotta try. Got a trap hole. Interesting. They had to think about that. Alright, Big Welcome Labyrinth. Excellent. Bounces back to the hands. Gets no effect resolution. Chandragleer is really fucking annoying. It just reloads itself back to the hand every single fucking turn. Honestly, of the new decks, I have a bigger issue against Labyrinth than I do with Kashtira. Kashtira does not manage to do its, like, dream lockout on me anywhere nearly as much as Labyrinth manages to just steamroll the fuck out of me. Alright, we're gonna lose one turn. Go ahead and activate your shit. I have a Vivid Tail to protect some of my stuff. Special summon a Labyrinth. Even if you summon the Lovely Lady Labyrinth, when it comes into play, its effect is not going to resolve before lose one turn negates its effects. That's not going to help you. Alright. Be mindful of Nibiru. Actually, I don't need to be mindful of Nibiru. There's no way they're summoning 5 times in this turn. There she is. Effect negated. Get fucked. Pitch to the grave. Eat a dick. Alright, now you only have machines, and you can only control one machine. Any fiend you summon goes to the grave. What can you do with that information? Does this not supremely fuck you? I sure hope it does. I don't like your deck. Honestly, probably the most annoying trap deck I've gone up against. I wish Eldritch was, like, more popular. I wish Eldritch was back in the meta. I kind of sort of liked playing against Eldritch. They had, like, two key removal tools. It just got frustrating when they used Eldritch as, like, a rank 8 XYZ ladder, or they were just running Ballard's Rock to just banish my shit. Other than that, like, vanilla Eldritch, very manageable. Frustrating, but, like, frustrating in the sense that they have fucking 3 copies of Golden Conquistador that they can fetch every single fucking turn, which pops one of my cards less than this deck does. They fortunately do not have their field spell up. Their field spell is when I start worrying. Yeah, eat a dick. Pitch that shit to the grave. Fuck you. Get out of here. Oh, that was weird. Sure, good luck with that. I think I can destroy her. If she stays on the field, I can take her out. Fuck you. Defense mode. Good luck with that. Nice to see this card getting some of the recognition it deserves. Some high-profile channels have been mentioning Lose One Turn recently. I have been using this shit for months. It's basically been in my deck since I started playing Master Duel. Nearly as long, at least. Alright. What can you have for me? Decisive Battle, that's gonna be really good shit when they get their field spell online. I don't know what your face down is. Let's decisive first. This is the wisest thing to do here. There goes an Ash Blossom. What could you be setting? Another Welcome Labyrinth? Is a big Welcome Labyrinth better for you at this point? It is a big Welcome Labyrinth. But you can't activate it this turn. At least I don't think so. Unless you use Labyrinth Clock's effect, I think. I don't know, they're pitching a lot of cards to get this going. Which is fine by me. I think Clock allows them to activate a trap same turn. See. No, eat shit. Nice. Okay, she can swing over me, which is not great. She's also locked into only doing, what, 500 damage to me? I can live with that. Really? I'm not a fan of that. Skill drain. That's troublesome. I don't want to lose Broker right now. I'd rather take 25 to the face. I'm not sure if it's wise to do that, though. That's a problem. I can't get rid of Clockwork Knight. I need to keep it. Fuck me, dude. That sucks. Okay. You definitely complicated things, Ms. Labyrinth player. Shit. Oh, but I have Decisive Battle. I have Decisive Battle. Forget about it. I have Decisive Battle. Just tank 500. Pitch a Fusion. I have Decisive Battle. Should be a non-issue right now. I can weather that for a few turns. Your effect's negated, you're not gonna fetch anything. Activate a normal trap card the turn it was set. Okay. What are you looking to set? Oh, you thought you could fetch any trap card, huh? You'd fetch any normal trap card. Set one normal trap card. Activate it same turn. What would that have been? A virus? Eradicator virus or some shit? Could see that happening. You've negated your own effects anyway, thanks to skill drain. There's not much point in trying to pitch anything to draw. I was seriously overthinking things once skill drain came into play. What card was that? Welcome Labyrinth, okay. I haven't been able to Nibiru, probably because of this card. I'd really like to beat this Labyrinth player. I wonder if they have a means of removing their own skill drain, because this probably hurts them a fair bit. Granted, Lady Labyrinth can swing like a motherfucker, but I don't even know if any of their removal cards can remove their own cards. Hell yeah, thank God. Oh, hell yeah. They really had to start thinking on that one. Platinum 3. Hell yeah. Can I afford the fucking gold pass yet? Probably not. Getting there. Oh, I can't afford it. Alright, sweet. Well, actually, we'll just get the gold pass now. Again, I've never spent money on this game. Don't spend money on this game. This is a piece of shit game. Tommy doesn't deserve the money they think they've earned with this game. Fuck them. Alright, and I actually do have, I have one of those, event tickets to redeem, I'm gonna do. What a stupid fucking pack to do the special ticket event thing for, too, by the way. They literally just did an event pack that is all like, oh, it's like traditional Yu-Gi-Oh! Themes. Look at this. The Egyptian gods, red eyes, fucking Blackluster Soldier Retrain, Utopia, fuck Utopia, but like all these other like classic cards, this is the pack that they should have released like the special tickets for, but no, it's just the recent, oh, it's the recent Makonko pack with the Pirelli cards. Fuck you. Should have done it as something more thematic to the actual fucking game. Not just the most recent shit you released. Fuck you. Get a little glimpse at my process right here. Nothing too fancy, to be honest. Yes, I do have a sphere mode. Okay, so I only played a few games, but my verdict on those games so far, One Day of Peace helped. Fierce Tiger Mongoose never got played. Oh, it got played once, and then it was immediately nuked because I fucked up the timing on Nibiru. I never summoned Nibiru, even though there were multiple games in which I should have been able to summon Nibiru. Dimension Shifter got some value. Dimension Shifter won me a game. Dimension Shifter literally won me a game just by being able to tribute set. That's big. I appreciate that. Rivalry of Warlords, more effective than I expected. Those are the main takeaways right now. I'll have to think a little bit longer on it, but I'll be back next time I feel like ranking up again. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, and goodbye.